The first GT Winter Series race of the weekend, the first to have a split grid between the GT3s and the Cup cars, and it was Koba Powles with an audacious late braking move into the first corner, around the outside and into the lead. Among the Cup cars, it was Jerzy Spinkovic who led them down to the first corner. He was, of course, leading the Cup 4 category for Lamborghini Huracan Super Trofeo machinery. The other drivers picking the bones through the first few corners, and unfortunately Hubert Darmetko found himself beat in the gravel. That would trigger a brief safety car, but we would go back to racing conditions and Koba Powles would set about building his lead. Giuliano Holtzum, after a few laps of trying, managed to get himself around Simon Orange. Both Pichler and Holtzman were trying very hard to get around the McLaren, but Orange wouldn't have it. He carried on finding a way to stay ahead. Eventually, though, at turn 7, it was a move definitively against the McLaren by Giuliano Holtzum. Leo Pichler would have to try and hold his patience a little bit longer as the very, very wide McLaren stayed ahead. It was a great defensive drive from Orange and a great turn of drifting as well for him. Alessio Ruffini finding his way past Arif Ahmed Al-Khoury further back in the battles. Darren Howell getting into it as well with Jakub Twarog. Contact for Alessio Ruffini with Hubert Darmetko, who seemed to be very racy, even though he was a little bit off the rest of the field. A difficult race, I think, for Darmetko. A little bit of an error at turn 7 cost Simon Orange ultimately. A good run up the hill towards turn 9 was all it took for Leo Pichler to get through into the lead in Cup 1, or rather, sorry, in that GT3 class battle. The Cup 1 Ferrari of Mathiel there was getting rather loose, and Ahmed Arif Al-Khoury went airborne after that collision with the number 7. Shota Abkazava with a puncture we saw there on screen. Unfortunately, that would throw some debris down on the main straight. No safety car required, but still another obstacle for the drivers. Ahmed Arif Al-Khoury would end up in the gravel late on, but no safety car, and a clean run to the flag for our race winner Koba Powles. That sets them apart from their previous weekend. They didn't get a win at Valencia, but ComTU Racing, Koba Powles, have done it here in race 1 at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya, in the GT Winter Series. Moritz Viskirchen second in the overall, second in the GT3 class ahead of Dante Rapinge. In 4th position, Giuliano Holtzum. 5th place to Leo Pichler in the number 14 Razoon Porsche. Simon Orange for Orange Racing by JMH taking 6th place. Kari Schreiner in 7th ahead of Jerzy Spinkovic, who won in the Cup 4 class. Adrian Richney in 9th position ahead of Eric Chung, the Cup 1 winner for AF Corsa. He was just clear of Jaden Kelly in the Cup 3 Artura Trophy for Greystone GT. Cristiano Mathiel in 12th position ahead of Andreas Sorensen. Mathiel, of course, scoring 2nd place points as they look to hold the overall championship lead. John Dillon 14th. Alfredo Hernandez in 15th place. Danilo Del Favero in 16th position. Alberto Di Martin in 17th. Fabian Di Bianca winning Cup 2 on his debut in GT racing ahead of Mons Thalin. In 20th place, Alessio Ruffini scoring 2nd place points in the Cup 4 class. Jakub Twarog in 21st. Darren Howell 22nd. Darmetko 23rd. Abkazava, Arif Al-Khoury and Ramos all not running at the flag. Just quickly to tell you as well, Mathiel and Aguas on 176 points. The Cup 1 number 50 Ferrari leading the overall points on 176 provisionally after that race. 168 for the defending champion Kenneth Heyer, SR Motorsport, and of course Moritz Viskirchen. Ruffini and Pavlovic on 162 points. They've dropped to 3rd in the overall standings provisionally, with 2nd in the Cup 4 class. Thalin and Bergman sit on 158 points in the overall championship as the comfortable leaders in Cup 2, but unfortunately they have some work to do if they are to be champions this year in the GT Winter Series overall standings. For Mathiel and Aguas, though, they've done everything right on Saturday, and of course as they continue to keep that buffer perfect against Viskirchen and Heyer, that 8-point buffer that started the weekend has lasted through race 1. As long as they keep doing that, as long as they keep getting Cup 1 podiums, then the ship is on course for Aguas and Mathiel. Still a long way to go though in the championship. 2 races left, 40 points left on the board, and 4 teams within 20 points in the championship, so it could go any way still on a potentially dramatic Sunday in the GT Winter Series, as Izzy alluded to down there on the grid, or rather on the post-event interview in the pit lane. We are looking at the forecast with a degree of trepidation for Sunday. Will it rain? And if it does rain, when? How much? And whom will it affect most? Those are all questions you can only answer by tuning in to watch us on Sunday, as the Winter Series All 4 championships will be decided. Of course, one of them has already been decided. Danny Sufi has secured the Prototype Winter Series title today, but the Formulas, the GT4s and the GTs are all still up for grabs, and that will be a very exciting day of racing. Of course, there are a lot of classes in the GT Winter Series, which does mean that it takes a little while to collar absolutely everyone that's needed up there on the podiums, but Andrew Mather and the Geelic Racing and Race Ready organisations are doing a good job of that at the moment. We should be able to see the drivers onto the podium before too long. But for now, we remind you that we will be live before 9 o'clock in the morning with a full day of racing in the GT, the GT4, the Prototype and the Formula Winter Series. So if you are just here for the racing action, that is when it's coming. But if you want to revel in the celebrations, Andrew Mather is our MC on the